Can you imagine a Christmas Eve that was supposed to be filled with light and joy turned into chaos and mourning? On December 24, 2023, in Kryvyi Rih, Ukraine, the hometown of President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the terrifying explosions of missile strikes shattered the peace. Behind the flames and the pain, the incident was not only a tragedy but also a dire warning about the escalating conflict. Join us as we explore what happened that fateful night. Breaking news details. On Christmas Eve, Russian forces launched a devastating missile attack on the industrial city of Kryvyi Rih, Ukraine, targeting a residential complex during festive celebrations. The strike, which occurred at approximately 15:45 local time, resulted in the tragic death of one individual and injuries to 15 others, including 4 in serious condition. Among the injured were a 16-year-old girl, elderly women aged 72, 65, and 42, and a 78-year-old man who remains in critical condition. Emergency teams worked tirelessly to rescue survivors, including a woman who spent 4 harrowing hours trapped under the debris. She was found conscious but suffering from crush syndrome. The targeted 4-story residential building, home to 32 apartments, suffered catastrophic damage, with its entrance section destroyed from the 1st to the 4th floor. The surrounding area also bore significant losses, including 9 shops and over 20 vehicles either destroyed or damaged. Ukrainian officials confirmed the use of a Russian ballistic missile in the attack, marking another deliberate assault on civilian infrastructure. Despite Moscow's claims of avoiding civilian targets, this strike adds to the mounting evidence of high-precision weaponry being used against non-military sites. More than 60 rescue workers, supported by 14 pieces of specialized equipment, were deployed to manage the aftermath in this steel-making city, once home to over 600,000 residents before the war. The ripple effects of the attack extended to multiple civilian structures, amplifying the sense of loss and destruction. The Prosecutor General's office has launched a pre-trial investigation, considering the attack a potential war crime. Striking a city just 65 kilometers from the nearest Russian-occupied territory, this assault on President Volodymyr Zelenskyy's hometown underscores the relentless intensity of the conflict and the devastating toll it continues to exact on Ukraine. Rescue operations. In the immediate aftermath of the devastating missile strike on Kryvyi Rih, emergency teams mobilized rapidly as sirens echoed across the city. Over 60 rescuers from the State Emergency Service, equipped with 14 specialized vehicles and search and recovery tools, arrived within minutes to begin one of the largest rescue operations in recent months. Joining the effort, the Ukrainian Red Cross provided vital support to victims at the disaster site, ensuring a comprehensive and coordinated response. Rescue workers meticulously searched through the rubble, demonstrating exceptional precision and care. In a remarkable success, they pulled a woman alive from the debris after she spent 4 grueling hours trapped beneath it. Although conscious, she was suffering from crush syndrome and received immediate medical attention. Despite their tireless efforts, not all outcomes were hopeful. A man rescued from the rubble could not be revived, despite prompt intervention. The medical response unfolded with precision and urgency. 15 injured victims were triaged on site, including a 16-year-old girl, 2 elderly women aged 72 and 65, and a 78-year-old man in critical condition. 10 patients required hospitalization, prompting local medical facilities to mobilize additional staff to manage the influx. Special attention was given to the 4 most critically injured individuals, emphasizing the urgent need for advanced care. This coordinated operation between rescue teams, medical personnel, and humanitarian organizations highlights Ukraine's growing emergency response capabilities in times of crisis. As teams remain on high alert for potential follow-up operations, their swift and unified actions underscore a commitment to saving lives and supporting the victims of this devastating attack. Strategic significance. Kryvyi Rih, a vital industrial hub in Ukraine, holds significant strategic importance both for the country's economy and its military defense. Known as the Gate to Central Ukraine, the city's location and industrial strength make it a key target in the ongoing conflict. Situated near a vast iron ore basin that stretches 100 kilometers, Kryvyi Rih houses industrial facilities responsible for producing 80% of the city's total output. The city is also a critical transportation hub connecting central Ukraine, making it indispensable for the movement of resources and military logistics. With 1.5% of Ukraine's population residing here, the city is home to 36,500 entrepreneurs and a robust industrial commercial ecosystem. The Russian military's focus on Kryvyi Rih aligns with its broader strategy to cripple Ukraine's industrial and logistical infrastructure. The city's iron ore industry, which generated USD $6.90 billion in exports in 2021, has faced a sharp decline of 40 to 75% in production since the conflict began. This significant drop has not only hindered Ukraine's economic resilience but has also weakened its military-industrial capacity. Kryvyi Rih's proximity to Russian-occupied territory, located just 65 kilometers away, has intensified security concerns. As Russian forces made advances through neighboring regions, Kryvyi Rih's defense became even more critical. Ukrainian forces previously thwarted a potential Russian push by destroying key railway infrastructure at Starozylia, 70 kilometers south of the city. The loss of Kryvyi Rih would have severely compromised Ukraine's supply lines to the Donbas region, underscoring the city's military importance. Local industrial giants, such as Metinvest and ArcelorMittal Kryvyi Rih, have played a crucial role in the city's defense by providing materials and equipment for fortifications, particularly along the southern approaches. These defensive positions are vital in maintaining the city's security as Russian forces attempt to make further inroads. Recent developments along the 1,000-kilometer front line in eastern and southern Ukraine, including Russia's attempts to establish a bridgehead on the western bank of the Dnieper River in the Kherson region, have only heightened the need to safeguard Kryvyi Rih and its surrounding territories. Official responses. In response to this escalating threat, Ukrainian officials quickly condemned the Russian missile strike on Kryvyi Rih during the Christmas celebrations, further underscoring the vulnerability of civilian infrastructure in the region. The attack, which targeted key facilities and disrupted the lives of the local population, reinforced the urgency of safeguarding the city. With both military and civilian sectors united in their efforts, the strong reactions from national and local authorities highlighted not only the strategic importance of Kryvyi Rih but also the relentless nature of the conflict, as Russia's attempts to disrupt Ukraine's resilience continue. Ukrainian human rights ombudsman Dmytro Lubinets voiced the nation's collective anguish, remarking on the tragic timing of the assault. While the rest of the world celebrates Christmas, Ukrainians continue to suffer from endless Russian attacks. Andriy Yermak, the head of President Zelensky's office, added his condemnation through a telegram message, calling the attackers murderers and highlighting the lack of any moral restraint from the Russian forces, asserting, "Nothing sacred, no humanity." Fine. Local officials in Dnipropetrovsk provided critical updates throughout the crisis. Governor Serhiy Lysak reported that Russian forces were aiming to destroy the region's power systems, with significant damage to key infrastructure. The attack caused widespread disruption, including severe damage to administrative buildings, power transmission lines, and hospital facilities. Additionally, the region's central sewage system was compromised, exacerbating the already dire situation. Mayor Oleksandr Vilko coordinated the emergency response, setting up a headquarters to assist affected residents with building materials and emergency supplies. His office issued frequent communications, urging citizens to stay safe and follow safety protocols amid the ongoing crisis. International reactions focused heavily on the security of Ukraine's energy infrastructure, which had been severely impacted. Energy Minister German Galushchenko confirmed that Russia was massively attacking the power sector, leading to immediate electricity supply restrictions to prevent further damage. Tech, the nation's largest private energy provider, reported significant damage to power plants and crucial equipment, resulting in emergency power cuts that lasted up to 8 hours in several regions. The timing of the strike, occurring during Christmas celebrations, drew particular attention from international observers. This assault on Kryvyi Rih, coinciding with Ukraine's shift to celebrate Christmas in line with European traditions rather than the Russian calendar, symbolized the deepening rift between the two nations. It also highlighted the ongoing hardship faced by Ukraine's civilian population amid the war. Local authorities remained vigilant throughout the crisis, with air raid sirens sounding across several regions as the Ukrainian military detected the launch of Russian-caliber cruise missiles from the Black Sea. Despite the challenges, the rapid and coordinated response of Ukrainian forces and local officials reflected the nation's resilience in the face of continued attacks on its infrastructure and people, even during significant cultural and religious observances. Civilian impact. The missile strike on Kryvyi Rih serves as a stark reminder of the devastating toll the ongoing conflict continues to exact on civilian life across Ukraine. This latest attack, which targeted a residential area, adds to the growing number of casualties and the deepening humanitarian crisis that has fundamentally altered the lives of millions. The targeted residential complex was a 4-story building that housed 32 families. A Russian ballistic missile struck directly at the core of the building, causing catastrophic damage. The blast destroyed the building's entrance section from the ground floor to the 4th, while also damaging 9 nearby shops and more than 20 vehicles in the surrounding area. The impact extended far beyond the immediate target zone, affecting a densely populated neighborhood in this steelmaking city, which had a pre-war population of 600,000. The destruction of homes and businesses paints a grim picture of the conflict's ongoing toll on civilians. The damage assessment revealed the extent of the devastation. 32 residential units were affected, 9 commercial properties were damaged, and more than 20 vehicles were destroyed or damaged. The building's structural integrity was compromised, with the entrance section destroyed. This attack is part of a broader pattern of civilian displacement across the country. Nearly 3.7 million people are still internally displaced within Ukraine, and more than 6.7 million have sought refuge in neighboring countries. The ongoing conflict has also left many without access to basic needs, with approximately 1.7 million children lacking access to safe water and around 3.4 million people without centralized sanitation. In response to the attack, local authorities and humanitarian organizations have mobilized substantial resources to support the affected residents. Emergency teams have been on the ground, providing immediate assistance, including shelter kits for families whose homes were damaged. The broader humanitarian effort has been extensive, delivering multi-sectoral services to over 1.1 million people in 2024. This includes cash assistance, shelter provisions, and psychological support for those suffering from the emotional toll of the war. For families impacted in Kryvyi Rih, aid organizations have been supplying crucial items such as mattresses, blankets, bed linens, and essential household goods. The resilience of the community is evident in the coordinated response to the attack. Local volunteers have joined emergency services in offering immediate relief, while humanitarian organizations continue to provide vital support. The strike has sparked an outpouring of solidarity from neighboring communities, with people coming together to assist their fellow citizens in this time of crisis. The UNHCR and its partners have expanded their operations in the region, offering legal assistance for document renewal, psychological counseling, and the distribution of essential supplies to displaced families. This comprehensive support system has become increasingly vital as the conflict persists, with the latest reports highlighting the persistent challenges faced by residential communities in Ukraine. Holiday context. This ongoing humanitarian effort takes on even greater significance during the holiday season. The missile strike on Kryvyi Rih, which occurred during Ukraine's first official Christmas celebration aligned with the Western calendar, highlighted the tragic consequences of the war. Following President Zelenskyy's decision to move Christmas from January 7th to December 25th, this year's celebrations were overshadowed by the loss and displacement experienced by many families. President Zelenskyy reflected on the harsh reality, stating, "Not all of us are home, unfortunately. Sadly, not everyone has a home. And tragically, not everyone is still with us." In this context, the support provided by the UNHCR and other organizations is critical in helping Ukrainians navigate both the immediate impacts of the conflict and the longer-term effects on their lives and communities. The missile attack underscores Russia's continued strategy of targeting civilian areas, especially during significant cultural events. The assault, which destroyed residential buildings and infrastructure, highlights the ongoing toll of the war, particularly in winter. The calendar change is a significant step away from Russian Orthodox traditions, aligning Ukraine more with Western Christian practices. This shift affects not only the date of Christmas, but also the religious observances and celebrations, reflecting Ukraine's broader move toward Western integration. Despite the conflict, traditional Ukrainian customs persist. Families like Lubov's, who lost her son in the war, have adapted by creating new traditions, such as bringing Christmas trees to grave sites. The Ukrainian spirit remains strong through customs like the Holy Supper, Sviata Vechera, caroling, and the Diduk wheat sheaf. The attack was condemned by Ukrainian officials, including Ombudsman Dmytro Lubinets, who stated, "While the rest of the world celebrates Christmas, Ukrainians continue to suffer from endless Russian attacks." This strike highlights the stark contrast between the peaceful holiday celebrations across Europe and the ongoing war in Ukraine. This first Christmas under the new calendar symbolizes Ukraine's resilience and its journey toward a distinct, independent identity, even amid conflict. The holiday serves as a powerful reminder of the country's determination to preserve its heritage while forging stronger ties with the West. Defense analysis. Recent developments in Ukraine's air defense capabilities highlight both the successes and ongoing challenges the country faces in protecting civilian areas from Russian missile and drone attacks. Ukrainian forces demonstrated significant progress by intercepting 52 out of 103 Russian drones in a recent wave of attacks. This success underscores the growing effectiveness of Ukraine's layered air defense network, which blends both Soviet-era systems and more advanced, Western-supplied technologies. The backbone of Ukraine's air defense consists of a combination of Sa-8, Sa-10, S-300, and Sa-11 platforms designed to deter aircraft, alongside more modern systems like Iris-T, NASAMS Aspide. Patriot missile systems bolster Ukraine's defense against ballistic missile threats. The success of these systems is evident in recent operations, where Ukrainian forces neutralized 5 ballistic missiles and 40 drones in a single day. Additionally, the growing sophistication of Ukraine's electronic warfare capabilities is illustrated by the tracking of 20 drones that lost radar contact. However, Ukraine's early warning systems continue to face challenges, particularly as Russian forces target critical detection infrastructure. The United States has voiced concerns over Ukrainian strikes on Russian early warning radar stations, including the Voronezh system, capable of detecting targets up to 6,000 kilometers away. Despite these challenges, Ukraine's integrated early warning mechanisms have proven effective, with air command centers providing 24/7 monitoring, mobile radar units offering tactical warnings, and ground observer networks visually confirming threats. The involvement of Poland scrambling fighter jets to respond to missile threats in western Ukraine further highlights the international dimension of Ukraine's early warning infrastructure. To strengthen its defense strategy, Ukraine has received substantial support from the United States, including funding for improvements to ground-based mid-course defense systems and standard missile interceptors. Mobile fire groups equipped with man-portable air defense systems have also been crucial in countering cruise missile threats, particularly in rapidly changing battlefield environments. Ukraine's creative use of mobile air defense units has proven effective, offering flexible coverage that complements static defense systems. Additionally, NATO's integrated air and missile defense mission has played an increasingly important role in defending Ukraine's eastern flank, demonstrating the alliance's solidarity in response to Russia's ongoing aggression. As international support continues to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities, the latest reports indicate ongoing improvements in air defense systems, including enhanced coordination between various defense components. These advances are key in strengthening Ukraine's ability to protect civilian infrastructure and population centers, providing some measure of resilience amid the ongoing conflict. Historical pattern. The systematic targeting of Kryvyi Rih reveals a troubling trend in Russia's military strategy, marked by an escalating pattern of attacks throughout 2023 and 2024. Analysis of these strikes underscores the city's strategic significance in the ongoing conflict, highlighting its vulnerability to sustained and concentrated military pressure. A chronological review of major attacks on Kryvyi Rih demonstrates a troubling intensification of strikes. On June 13, 2023, a cruise missile strike killed 13 civilians, followed by another missile attack on July 31st that claimed the lives of 6 civilians, including a 10-year-old girl. Subsequent attacks on August 28 and October 28, 2023, targeted infrastructure and residential buildings, leaving multiple people wounded. On December 6, 2023, an administrative building was hit, resulting in the deaths of 2 individuals and injuries to 19 others, including a child. These attacks reveal a consistent targeting of both civilian and administrative infrastructure, with Russian forces employing different missile types to breach Ukrainian defenses. Notably, the frequency and intensity of these strikes surged during strategic military operations, especially in the winter months. The devastating toll on civilians is evident in United Nations Human Rights Monitoring Mission data, which documents between 11,000 and 40,000 civilian deaths across Ukraine. Of these, 90.5% resulted from indiscriminate attacks, with 84.2% of casualties occurring in Ukrainian-held territories. The mission further reports that Russian forces have used cluster munitions and wide-area effect weapons in populated areas, resulting in substantial civilian casualties, and leaving behind unexploded ordnance that continues to pose a danger to the population. Russia's military strategy has evolved in 3 distinct phases. In Phase 1, initial strikes focused on critical infrastructure, such as the September 14, 2023, attack on the Karachun Dam, which caused widespread flooding and forced evacuations. This phase aimed to disrupt essential services and civilian life. In Phase 2, Russian forces shifted their tactics to target residential areas, launching coordinated strikes with cruise missiles and drones. By October 2022, approximately 30% of Ukraine's energy infrastructure was damaged. The current Phase 3 has seen a combination of these strategies, with Russian forces launching an average of 23.2 missiles per day, occasionally exceeding 82 missile launches on certain days. This sophisticated approach seeks to overwhelm Ukraine's air defense systems with concentrated missile attacks. Despite Ukraine's improving air defense capabilities, which achieved an average daily intercept rate of 83.5%, the continued attacks on Kryvyi Rih show Russia's ongoing focus on civilian areas. Even amid international condemnation, the use of cluster munitions in urban areas has drawn significant criticism. with both Russian forces and pro-Russian separatists being documented as primary users of these controversial weapons. International observers have noted that Russia's continued missile campaigns, supported by countries such as Iran, North Korea, and China, maintain a high level of offensive capability. The repeated attacks on Kryvyi Rih, particularly during key cultural and religious observances, suggest a deliberate strategy aimed at undermining civilian morale and inflicting damage on critical infrastructure. Despite efforts to bolster defenses, Kryvyi Rih remains a vulnerable target for Russia's missile campaigns. This situation mirrors broader trends in the conflict, where civilian areas across Ukraine face systematic targeting, violating international humanitarian law, and exacerbating the ongoing crisis. In conclusion, the recent assault on Kryvyi Rih highlights Russia's ongoing strategy of targeting civilian areas, especially during key cultural moments, in clear violation of international humanitarian laws. These attacks not only test Ukraine's defensive capabilities but also push the resilience of its civilian population. However, despite the relentless pressure, Ukraine continues to demonstrate remarkable adaptability, preserving vital services and community support systems. The unwavering spirit of the Ukrainian people in the face of such adversity remains a testament to their strength and determination to protect their sovereignty and cultural identity. How do you think the international community can further support Ukraine in its defense against such attacks?